Today we're going to go find some magazines to use in our journal. Let's go! So I decided to give myself a challenge. I wanted to try to make a whole journal page with only using magazines. I have already got quite a substantial collection of magazines from gathering just over the years. Most of them are either Breathe, Cam or Flow, are the three that I like the most. But I wanted to challenge myself a little bit more, go outside the box and just kind of show how possible it is to fill a journal spread with the kind of magazines that you might already have around your house, so that you don't have to go spend tons of money on lots of stationery. As much as it is nice to have all of the washi tape and the stickers, that's just not accessible for everybody, so I thought it would be fun to show you what it is like to do a spread with just magazines. So here's a look at the collection that I've gathered over the years. It's not something that you need to go out and buy all at once. This is something that I've been getting just here and there whenever I want to get a new magazine, and it's just been a great resource for me to be able to reuse after I've finished reading. So I've wrapped up doing the challenge that I set for myself. I found it really fun. It was nice to look through a few magazines that I've never really used before. I think I mentioned earlier about using Breed, Flow and Cam, and I'm drawn to those mostly because a lot of the time they have lots of really fun articles about mindfulness and lots of really cool artists that I've been able to discover. There are lots of other magazines that, you know, end up kind of in your household, and you might even get some through the post. I know my husband has a small collection of Warhammer magazines, and I'm sure there are things in there that I could use too in journaling. I know he does go through his at times to do some of his creative work. So I decided to use my traveler style notebook for this one. I have a collection of notebooks in here. One of them is a memory journal, one of them is just a lined page, which I'm hoping to start doing some daily personal journaling in. And then I have the blank one that I decided to use as my art journal going forward this year. I had a couple of pages in here done before. I've used it for swatches and things, but it's been really fun to kind of just let loose and not really think much about doing the art journaling, and that's what I love about doing them with magazines, because there's no real pressure. You're kind of flipping through the magazine and taking your time and just letting the images and the text and the graphics kind of speak to you. I just let myself kind of gravitate towards the things that I find the most interesting at the time when I'm flicking through, and I tear out bits and pieces, take my time and just enjoy the process. It was really cool to kind of try to think through how I would use certain images differently and think outside the box. I picked out a couple of things, like there was a window and a frame, and I thought it would be really cool to cut out the center bits and have some sort of image behind them. I ended up just using the frame, but I'm excited to use the window at some point. I thought that was a really fun idea, and it really helps me become more kind of creative with my thought process. I think sometimes when I stick to using kind of stickers and stuff, I end up going towards similar styles of art journal spreads, so doing this challenge has kind of helped me try to kind of think things through a bit differently, do my spread different to how I would normally do it. The only extra thing I did use in this apart from the magazine was I had a colored pencil that I used to outline it, but even with like that I think it still looks great. Usually I find I just kind of gravitate towards whatever imagery I'm finding interesting at the time, and I enjoy doing it because it's something I find helps me kind of be mindful, and it gives me time in the day to kind of process my thoughts without really having to think a whole lot. A little bit of quiet time, so I tend to kind of look out for quotes and things too. So it depends on what magazines you've got, but even if you don't have a magazine that already has a pre-written quote, the fun thing is you can always take the text to make your own, and you just take it word by word, which is really cool. I've done that in some of my spreads in the past. So overall I had a lot of fun. It got me to think outside the box, and it really helped me to de-stress from my day. It was really nice to be able to do it and not really have to think too much about using lots of other stationery. It really simplified the process and it was very enjoyable. So if you would like to give it a go and challenge yourself to try making a whole journal spread with only your magazines that you already have, you don't need to go out and buy one, it's just whatever you have around the house, feel free to tag me on Instagram at @LacunaMinCo. I would love to see what you come up with. And if you want to join me in gathering some more ephemera from magazines and other books, then you're going to want to watch this video next.